Whenever
Well, welcome back, founders. Today I have the privilege of speaking again to Wendy Caverly. Wendy has got a company that she's the founder of Crusaders Networking. And so just like this group, she networking is everything. I think we all know that. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And so I have the privilege of speaking with her today. And thank you for joining us, Wendy.
Oh, thank you for having me, Kevin. It's a pleasure.
And so, as do with everybody, first of all, where are you calling us from? Where are you at now?
Sevierville, Tennessee.
Sevierville. I've never heard of it. Now,
Oh,
Tennessee's a beautiful
you've
state.
heard of its neighbors. It actually shares a parkway with Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yes. Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Michigan, actually.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
born in Marquette.
Okay.
So if any of our listeners are familiar, Michigan is actually two peninsulas.
It
There's a
is.
lower peninsula that everybody knows. But then there's the upper peninsula that some people don't. I was actually born in Marquette.
Yeah.
So I am a Yooper by birth, but I was raised with the trolls.
Well,
And
who are the trolls?
the trolls are the people who live below the bridge because
Oh.
the two peninsulas are connected by the Mackinac Bridge.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Mackinac Island's a beautiful island too.
Oh, it is.
You
Mhm.
must have been
So
going there all the time because you lived right there.
So
Or
I not all the time, but fairly frequently. My sister's husband's family actually had a house on the island years ago. So
you
it
can
was
have
nice.
houses on the island?
Oh
Or
yeah. Oh, there are people who live there year round on the
oh,
island. Yeah, the
wow.
locals, believe it or not, the locals have their own downtown and stuff, but it's on the backside of the island because they don't want to be in the tourists all the time either. You
No.
know, that's kind of how I feel here. Sevierville is where the regular people live. So as opposed to right in the tourist zones.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
did not know that Mackinac Island had another downtown.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the for the locals. They obviously there are no vehicles out on the
Right,
island.
there aren't. Yeah, it's all
Right.
everyone listening, it's all by horses.
It's
So
all by
bikes
horses,
and
horses,
bikes.
bikes, and carts, and I believe they use snowmobiles in the winter,
Then what? I was
and
gonna say
and then they
it's
they literally will snowmobile across the lakes because the lakes will freeze. Hmm.
yeah, that's just so
Yeah,
cool, man.
yeah.
It's such a beautiful area. Spring through fall. Oh my gosh. Talk
Hmm.
about a gorgeous area that you grew up.
Yes.
So then you grew up in Marquette, right? So did you go to
No,
Marquette?
I was born
Oh,
in Marquette, but I grew up in, let's see, the easiest way would say the greater Flint area,
okay,
but
yeah.
I grew up in the country outside. Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're on the east side of the state. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Got you. And
Yeah.
so you grew up there. Where did you end up going to school? Did you go to?
Um, I went to Corona. Corona High School is
Uh-huh.
where I grew up. And actually, my sister works at the one of the elementary schools there now. All
Ah,
her children have gone through there.
oh
Um,
wow, that's cool.
I'm going to take a moment to do a little ant bragging. Corona actually really good at sports.
Ah,
Like the joke is there's something in the groundwater, must be the fertilizer from the local fields that gets into the groundwater and just makes these amazing athletes. And my nephews are twins,
ah.
and not only did they take Corona to the first ever state football championship in school history, but the boys got recruited by a college to play football together. And
Oh wow.
my one nephew is a quarterback, and the other nephew is a wide receiver.
Oh,
And
so they throw the. That's cool.
that's always been the joke. It's like he threw the ball, but he caught the ball.
Oh,
How?
because they're identical.
Because they're identical twins. Yeah,
Oh, that is such a cool story. Where do they play college ball?
Ferris State University.
Yeah, I know Ferris State.
They
Oh,
actually won the D2 national championship for the second year in a row last year. And
wow.
my nephew, the quarterback, was the starting quarterback. Yeah,
Wow.
so I'm very
That's
proud of
amazing.
where
You
I
should be
come from.
extremely proud. That's a huge
Yes.
deal.
Yeah, and where I come from, and that I came from this place where I years ago my niece's track team won state championship, and when we
Mm.
went to the little celebration, the coach said, "Here at Corona, we expect excellence from our students, and they deliver." And there's something to be said about having that as my background. Is I
Yeah.
came from a place where excellence was expected, and all of the tools that you needed to do that were also provided to you by people who really wanted what was best for you. And
Yeah.
so that's that's just becomes very ingrained as who I am, not as a human, not just as a human, but as a business person, is if you expect good things from people, most people will rise to that occasion.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
So
big is Karana? Because I've never heard of it.
exactly. Karana is a farm. It's a farm community,
Uh-huh.
actually. Yeah, it's a farm community. They at one time, but they were also would be considered what would be known as a bedroom community, where a lot of the people who lived there drove to Lansing, drove to Flint to work at the factories, worked at GM, Ford, things of that nature. So they've had a reduction in population over the years.
Hmm.
So I can't even tell you the size of the school, but I do know that they don't have. They used to have 3 elementary schools that were full K through 5, and now that's kind of shifted around a little bit. They have one that they use full time as an elementary school. So, but it is a Division 5
Okay.
high school. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. If that, I don't know what that population is, so somebody can look it up on Google and maybe get a note.
That's
So
so it's okay, great. So but that's awesome that so your family's still there. Well, why and if not only that, why if they're building those types of programs for the kids, why wouldn't you be there? You know what I mean?
right. Well, I mean, it's a deep rooted community. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like a lot of the teachers there and a lot of the administrators were students at one point. So it's just a really good close community and a nice place to raise a family. And that also, does attract a lot of other people because it's why wouldn't you want your children in a school that is not only safe but going to make sure that they are educated well
Hmm.
and bring about these beautiful results.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
great. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I'm happy. That's great for your family.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
awesome. National title's a big deal.
I'm so proud of them. I mean, just ridiculously proud. And
Yeah, it's a really,
Aunt
really big.
Wendy, like all the time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they,
awesome.
and they
So
work hard. So that's another thing that I find that
yeah.
really implies who I am is you and I both are adults. We know that sometimes you can work really, really hard and still not succeed.
Yeah.
And so I have that additional appreciation for they work hard and have gotten those breaks that have allowed them to continue to succeed. And I think that's a beautiful thing as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's wonderful. And do they know what they want to do? The kids, do they know what they want to do when they're done playing ball or?
Yeah. One is in construction management, the
Oh,
construction management
smart.
program, and the other one
Yeah.
is law enforcement or
Oh,
criminal
good for
justice.
them. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. Productive members of society.
And
It's
good young
all,
men.
yeah, that's wonderful. You got to be proud. So then so you're in Tennessee now. So
I
did
am.
you graduate high school? Did you go to college?
Yes, I actually went to the University of Michigan.
Did
And
you?
yeah, you
In
know
Flint?
in Flint. Yes, they have
Yeah.
3 campuses, and I actually attended the Flint campus. Um,
Oh,
I earned my degree in political science and a minor in U.S. history.
I graduated with political science and I was a double major in economics. I went to Albion, which is actually, you probably know where Albion is because you're
Yes.
from that side of the state.
So you're one of those, private college kids, whatever.
Yeah, that's where I went. Actually, it's kind of near the major University of Ann Arbor, the campus. So so you graduated with that. What were you going to be? A lawyer? Were you going to be?
No, actually, I never had a desire for a law degree, but I did want to work in politics.
Mhm.
I back in that day, you had to have a semester of civics to graduate high school.
Yeah,
And I was very concerned for some reason that I wasn't going to pass this required course. So I took it the fall semester of my senior year. Well,
yeah,
it turns out I loved it.
mhm.
I loved it, and
Yeah,
so I wanted to go to college because I wanted to work in DC. I wanted to work on Capitol Hill, and
yeah. Wow,
and
that's awesome.
well, but then here's the fun part because this is the first, you could argue that this is the first derailment of my life. Like sometimes those things that derail you turn out to be the things that actually push you to where you're
Where you're
supposed to be.
supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So the last 2 years I was in college, I actually worked a campaign for somebody running for state representative.
Okay.
And it was a truly horrible experience. It
Hmm.
it was I have uh it destroyed my self-respect and my ego. And by the time that campaign was concluded, which happened to coincide at the same time that I graduated college, um,
Yeah.
I was truly under the impression that I was incapable of doing anything right, that I
Oh,
was
wow.
unemployable. you know. And I also was very disillusioned. I mean, we're talking late 90s. I was very
Yeah.
disillusioned with the activity of politics.
Yes.
Like, I don't know who they are, but they are in charge and they weren't us. And
Yes.
so just the whole thing was very, and what made me realize is that it wasn't the politics I loved, it was the history,
Yeah.
right? So I graduated, the candidate didn't win, so I didn't have a job waiting for me in Lansing
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
And
By the way, I had the same experience, just so you know. I was a political science major. I'll do that very briefly. That's why our stories are so similar. I did an internship, was going to be a lawyer, did an internship, I was going to be a politician. I was being bred basically to do that because I was a speaker in school and blah, blah, blah. But I was doing an internship for a senator and so disillusioned by both the law and politics. It was all about getting reelected, and he was already the senator. It had nothing to do with the policies. I was so disillusioned, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle. So I don't want anyone to read into what I'm saying. It's the system itself.
system.
I was
Mhm.
so depressed and disillusioned. I had no clue what I was going to do after college, after going to school for that, because I told my parents, I am not doing this. These
Yes.
people do not care about their clients as the lawyers, and they do not care about the citizens as the. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I had the same thing, so I didn't mean to stop you on your.
No, but it's always nice when somebody else sees it too.
Yeah.
And then having that moment where you spent 5 years focused on this
Yes.
goal, and then and to get to that finish line, I had to actually force myself to vote for the candidate that I'd spent 2 years working for.
Yeah.
I can remember standing in that voting booth and saying, Wendy, if you don't vote for them right now, you have literally said you've wasted 2 years of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it also, not only did it leave me not knowing what to do next, it also left me thinking that no one would hire me anyways.
Ah.
So I
So you had no self-esteem. You're
I
like,
had no, it was, oh my gosh. So that's a whole nother subject that takes us way off course. But someday that is a speech about, the difference between bad bosses and, so he was I'm sure he was a perfectly good man, but he wasn't a good boss or good
yeah.
manager, right? But so what I actually ended up doing, because I had this assumption that I was unemployable anyways, is I actually joined an MLM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to work for myself,
Hmm.
and that turned out to kind of be that first experience of every moment in my life I was either working for myself, but anytime that I thought that no, I need to go get that safe job, I need to, clock in, clock out, get the
Yeah.
hourly, I always came back to being on my own, being
Hmm.
that self-driven person. So
Hmm.
so things always derail you in the directions that you need to go, even in it's a hindsight though. It's the hindsight that makes you realize
Hmm.
um the bad stuff was actually for good things.
Yeah. So
So
true.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so then you started an MLM. I'm sorry, you joined one. Was it
yep.
back when they were deregulating energy? Because that was a big time when people
No,
were doing MLMs.
multi-level marketing. I
Yeah.
did I did home parties to sell candles and candle accessories.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes,
All
yes,
right. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, you got to say that it gave me the experience that I was okay with working a lot of hours because I was working for myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, that's okay. We don't need to go through my whole resume because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of pivots. But the beautiful thing is every step along the way, I learned things about myself.
Uh-huh.
I learned from working the campaign that making sure the people that I said I was going to help are the people that I actually helped. That
Mm.
there was something that I had something to offer them that was beneficial. Um,
Yeah.
from the MLM, I had to do presentations on a regular basis in front of complete strangers, and I
Yeah.
learned that I'm funny
Hmm.
and I have absolutely no fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
That it does not bother me at all. The only time it bothers me is when I'm worried that I want to impress somebody in the room. Um,
Correct.
let's see. What else have I done? I've worked at the front desk of a high-end athletic club. I knew how to make the
I
make
mean,
the
your story is important, Wendy, all these things,
right,
because you're a networking person. So being in
right.
all these, so this is actually good. This isn't bad. I
Yes.
mean, so that's what's,
Oh,
this
yeah.
isn't, that's
And
great. I'm
it's
sorry, but please continue.
no,
So I
no,
want
but
to hear that stuff in your story,
right, but all the things like so I'm working at the front desk of a high-end athletic club. We called ourselves the service desk chicks. And and you build relationships with the members.
Of course.
And so I was building network before I
Yeah.
knew. I mean, man, if I had realized, if I knew then what I know now, that would have been so much more strategic and so much more intentional.
Yeah.
I would have been looking at what the possibilities were by knowing the person that was the regional vice president for Comerica Bank
Yeah.
instead of
Wow.
he's just Miles who like to have a racquetball court every Tuesday at 3. And
Right.
and actually this is fun. So this I'm going to call this a sneak peek. I talk about
Yeah.
landscape system, and my
Mm-hmm.
landscape system is designed to help people not only focus on 4 objectives but give them the skills and strategies to accomplish those objectives.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is what I call the fishing landscape, and that is
Well,
this.
go through all of them, or you don't want to go through all of them.
Well, I'll go with this one because it has something to do with the gym.
Okay, okay, go ahead, please.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's the fishing landscape is actually the landscape that is most dominated by entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
executives, people who are driven and ambitious.
Yeah.
And it's all about strategic forward agility. How do
Mm-hmm.
you align yourself with the people that are going to help you accomplish your goals? Who are you going to walk with? Who's going to walk with you?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm working on a book describing this system, and I like using examples of real people in that section. And I realized when I was writing this book, there was this man that I knew at the athletic club, and his name was Jack. And
Mm-hmm.
Jack was there every single night for 2 to 3 hours every single night.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I remembered about Jack is he didn't really work out. I mean, he'd walk on the treadmill, talk to people. He'd sit in the hot tub, talk to people. He would sit on the
It was
gym equipment,
networking. Mm.
networking, because Jack was an attorney.
He wanted clients.
Do you know I used him? Every person in the club going through a divorce used him. I used him for a speeding ticket. He was building connections with his target clients, people who would spend $200 a month to be a member of a gym.
Yeah.
In 15 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So, and
smart.
I'm like, holy cow,
Mhm.
Jack's a genius.
Yes.
That networking is not just chambers, referral groups, mixers, meetups. You can build successful, long-term, beneficial connections at your social situations, your
Yeah.
yacht club, your golf course, your country club, your athletic club.
Mm-hmm.
And the smart people put themselves where their target clients are. And that is
Yeah.
actually where a lot of people do fall down when it comes to building network is they know they should, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
So they join a chamber. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but they join a chamber without thinking about what is the outcome I'm seeking here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was that hindsight experience of I'm working at the front desk of an athletic club, just socializing and chatting with people and all of this stuff like that. But there was this lesson 15 years later that, oh my God, the guy was a genius, and now he's an example of my system. And
Yeah.
I've worked a desk job because I needed that good, safe check
Yes.
Monday through Friday, evenings and weekends
Yes.
off. Within 2.5 years, absolutely was crushing my soul. Like
Mm.
I was probably would have been considered a functional alcoholic.
Mm.
Because the alcohol part of my budget was the untouchable part. I
Yeah.
was seeing a shrink on a weekly basis. I learned very quickly in that setting that you didn't want to be a rock star because rock stars got to do other people's work
Mm-hmm.
and not get paid more.
Yeah.
So, but I'm also a crusader,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the reasons for the name of my business.
Yeah, Chris, I was going to say that's your business name.
And when I see something that's not right, somebody being mistreated or something that should change, I'm also the one that tends to buck the managers.
Mm,
So I'm working this job in the basement of a very large corporation,
yeah,
and I got in. I mean, I was always pushing back, not against the manager, but against the troublemakers in the course, right? You always have
yeah,
one or two people that for some reason they're always the victims, but when you step back, you realize no, they're the ones that caused the problem and now
yeah.
cry victim.
That often is the case, by the way.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And yet for somehow, some way, they're also the ones that get the most pampering and the most protection by those in authority,
Mhm.
right? So this is very funny. I had a conflict with these two. This is actually, you know what? Actually, a lot of people love this story.
Yeah.
But I had a conflict with these two people, and
Mhm.
I went to my boss for help, and my boss told me to figure it out and handle it myself.
Mhm.
So I handled it myself.
Hmm.
And then a week later, I get called into a meeting
Mhm.
thinking, are you ready for this, Kevin?
Mhm.
Thinking I was getting the promotion I've been asking for. Instead, I was being written up because I handled it wrong,
Yeah, they told you to handle it yourself.
but then complained about how I
How
handled
you
it.
handled it.
Right. So this
Yeah.
this this was a pivotal moment in my professional life. I can
Yeah.
remember I was on my feet, leaning on the table. My manager is leaning on the table towards me. And I'm telling them, you cannot criticize me because you told me to handle it. I asked you for help.
Yeah.
You told me to handle it. And that was the moment that I realized I was an at-will employee and I didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Now, remember, this is the job where I think I was a low-level alcoholic in hindsight.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a
Yeah.
shrink on a regular basis. I'm on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication
Oh, wow.
from this job that paid like $13 an hour. Are you
Oh, wow.
crazy?
Yeah.
So the next day, I ended up taking a 6 week stress leave on their dime.
You're allowed to do that? That's awesome.
That company, I was the fourth person in my department to do it that year.
Wow.
Otherwise, I never would have known it was even a possibility. But unlike
Wow.
them, I didn't take a 6 weeks vacation. I went job hunting.
Yeah, good for you.
And when I came back 6 weeks later, I turned in my 2 weeks notice.
Good for you.
And what I did is I went back to the roots that I knew, that I move under my own steam. I am rewarded for my efforts. And maybe I'm going to work hard, but the payoff will be there. So
Yeah.
I jumped into credit card processing.
Ah,
And the first thing I did from past experiences, I joined the chamber, the local chamber.
smart.
And well, because I needed to know people, and I needed to know people who would give me a chance to talk,
Hmm.
right? Because what's my other choice? Go cold calling, door knocking, right?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, at that very first event I ever attended, one of the people I met at that event, so this would be May of 2013, is
Hmm.
a private client today.
Oh, wow. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So
Hmm.
when you connect without expectations, when you connect because the other person is just as interesting to know as you are,
Yeah,
you never know where it goes. And true connection goes with you regardless of changes in careers
of course.
or locations.
Yes.
So
Human connection is human connection.
human connection is human connection. And
Hmm.
and it's all these experiences over the years that really kind of accumulated into, I mean, I facilitated referral teams, multiple teams. My job was just to keep everybody focused, motivated, and considering, so what are you going to offer to everybody, not just what you're going to get from it. And that leads us up to, there's so many little steps, but that leads us to 2020,
Hmm.
right? And I had clients at the time, just small referral team clients,
Hmm.
who were just basically afraid, right? No one knew what was happening in those early days. No one knew what was true, what wasn't. And so to try to accommodate them, I had already opened up a Zoom account
Hmm.
with the intention of, I will meet everybody where they need to be. So luckily for us, when the world went still,
Yeah.
I already had everything in place.
That's smart.
And actually, frankly, that's one of the best compliments I've ever received in my life. It still makes me tear up sometimes when I think about it. I actually had a client say by the end of 2020 that when the world went still, Wendy picked up her shield and charged forward.
Ah,
Once again, back to Crusaders.
yeah,
And I was doing it for others, knowing that it would benefit me as well.
yeah.
I started
Nothing wrong
offering
with that.
weekly meetings because I didn't want anyone to feel isolated and alone. I started looking for people who would offer a workshop on their knowledge to keep people. How do you market yourself in an online environment? Because most everybody was still person to person.
Yeah.
And how do you get your business back open legally?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do these things? And
Mm-hmm.
and some people that I was connected to at the time that I'm still connected to them, but at the time they said, Wendy, you need to start making videos. People need to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
They need to hear this motivation, especially now. And
Mm-hmm.
so the very first video I ever made, I still have on my YouTube channel as more of a reminder to me. But the very first video I ever made was called Fear in Business,
Mm-hmm.
and how fear is a powerful motivator, but it also lies to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Meaning
um,
what? I'm interested to hear what that is.
well, it can tell you that fear makes you stop when
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes the fear makes you pause at the time where the fear is actually saying you need to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Fear that the things have changed, but the change gives you the opportunity for the growth and for the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Pivoting is where that's the difference. Fear, we talked a lot about how your competition is waiting for permission. We're making plans. So when
Hmm.
the lights come back on, we're already in motion and they're going to be playing catch up.
Yeah.
So that this is why you build network. You build network so when the unexpected happens, it's inconvenient, not a crisis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
that's
you
great.
already know who to turn to. You already know who's going to be able to help you and how.
Yeah.
And that comes from recognizing that the person standing in front of you has value to you. Part of your job is to figure out what role they're going to play.
Yeah. It's
But
great.
so many people start and end with client.
Correct.
Are you going to give me your money? Well, then get out of my way.
Correct.
So that's
100% true.
that's part of what is underneath the currency of connection
Mm-hmm.
is the 6 people that you need in your network.
Which are what? What are they? Tell me, please.
Clients, obviously, referral partners, collaborators, mentors, resources, and professional connections.
Yeah.
So if you have these 6 people in mind, that means every single person you meet is worth 30 minutes of your time,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you are actively listening for what role they will play in your network.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing about this is when you have them defined by category, it also helps you define expectations and
Mm-hmm.
manage frustrations with that connection.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, obviously, referral partners, you expect them to send business your way.
Correct.
But resources is often a one-way street because a resource is a client saver, not a client creator.
Yeah.
So you have a client with a need, you're the rock star who refers them to your
Yeah,
resource.
exactly.
That is a
Yes.
one-way street.
That's
So
what I
if you're
want the group that we're creating to be, is that referral partners,
with
collaborate, set up affiliate agreements with each other. That is what I want. And because you get to know each other through the group. That's what I want. Mhm.
and it's the long game, but the long game is where the value is,
Yeah.
right? And the more people you know, the more valuable you are to everybody.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so
it's also just genuine. If you're generally a people person, because if you're coming from the giving nature first, I give people free marketing reels. I don't charge for the group. You know what I
yes,
mean? But I've already hired 4 people from the group. You know what I mean?
yes,
For their services because I needed their stuff. I didn't do it just to do it. No, I needed what they had. You know what I mean? And
yes,
so I've already won. You know what I
yes.
mean? So anyway, I didn't mean to cut that. That's the but
No,
well,
you're
you and I
no,
do
you're
something so
reinforcing.
similar. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
So that's saying so our synergy is very similar. So that's why I love what you teach people, because
Yes.
it's what I believe in most. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's never been what you know. Um, Anyone with the biggest ego, whatever they accomplish, they always want to give you their resume.
Yeah.
Certain things of a resume are important if it's adding value to what you're going to talk about. You know what I mean? But not just to tell everybody how impressive you are. That's not, nobody likes that, number one. And number two, if you're a successful person financially or because you've built something, people can just tell by how you carry yourself. You don't need to bring it up. You know what I mean? I've never understood people that need to brag. And unless the
About
questions,
themselves.
that's
About
what I
themselves.
mean.
Yeah, I was bragging
Yeah.
about the nephews
No, I
earlier.
mean about them. I mean about them.
Yeah.
Promote other people all the time because it's going to happen itself. It's going to happen just by being who you are. And if you're naturally only interested in yourself, if that's where the motivation is coming from, then you lose. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just how I personally feel,
But it's it's but it's true. So maybe it is a personal feeling, but we have seen the evidence of the truth of that. I
Mhm.
I actually get more connections, more conversations, more positivity when I start by talking about people that I know that are awesome.
Yes.
Right? I don't talk about I'm so awesome you should know me. I talk about the awesome people I know, and
Yes.
that shows people that we talked about that. That's not self-centered. Like Wendy's going to talk about me
Mhm.
too. I should get to
Yes.
know Wendy.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's so amazingly powerful. That's the
Well,
Crusaders
I
system.
want to know Wendy because that's what she's
Yeah.
doing. I want to know her because she's a giver before she's a taker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you can feel
Yes.
if the energy is intentional or if the energy is natural. You can
Yeah.
feel it. We aren't dumb people. Nobody is. Energy is everything. You can tell if
Yes.
someone comes from that nature naturally or if they're doing it to eventually have a motive of something different. You can tell.
Yes.
So, anyway, I'm so glad you're doing this because it's so important that people
and
learn
and
this.
and that's what happened in 2020 is I put
Yeah.
out those videos and somebody responded, and my conversation with him, he thought I was a sales trainer, and they were looking for sales programs to offer to their sales force to try to overcome this massive hit from the economic hit of 2020.
Yeah.
And it was during that conversation that I realized what I've been doing, advocating for, preaching for years, is not default in people. They don't
Mhm.
think about building network when the economy is easy. They think
Yeah.
network is something that just happens automatically over a 10-year period, when the reality is, if you're strategic and intentional, that 10-year period is actually greatly reduced. Like
Yeah.
it, like and that's exactly what it is. And then that's the other thing too. Most people, it's networking. I actually am dropping the word networking for my company name.
Are you?
Yes,
What
because
you? What are you going to call it?
I'm
Just
going to leave it at Crusaders LLC,
okay.
because networking is an activity
Hmm.
where Crusaders is about the results of connection.
Hmm.
And so I like to jokingly say that networking is an ing word, like running or eating.
Yeah.
And if you don't know why you're running, how are you going to create the results you want? You
Hmm.
can be running to lose weight, or you can be
Yeah.
running from a bear.
Hmm.
Two very different reasons to run and very different ways to run to get the results that you want. You're not going to take a light jog if you got a bear behind you, but
Hmm.
you are for losing weight. So
Yeah.
that's what this is, the activity of networking. You learn skills and strategies to accomplish 4 objectives. So let's drop those in.
Yeah. Do it, please. I want to know what they
Yes.
are.
To be successful long term, we all
Yeah.
need to establish and maintain relationships,
Yep.
spot and leverage new opportunities,
Yep.
attract mentors and collaboration partners so we can
Yep.
earn introductions to larger rooms.
Yes.
That's how you stay. You earn it, you
Yes.
don't buy it.
Correct.
And you have a measurable action plan so you are productive with your time, not busy. You remember to celebrate your successes and manage your frustrations, because this is not an instantaneous thing, but it is
No.
something that you will see the measurables of, especially if you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And each one of those objectives I translate through nature references because it doesn't matter who you are in the world, you know what these are. You are farming relationships,
Hmm.
foraging opportunities,
Yeah.
fishing for growth,
Hmm.
and you have a hunting plan in place. That's the measurable action.
That's great.
And I like to jokingly say that hunting landscape is not Elmer Fudd wandering the woods looking for rabbits and ducks.
Hmm.
It's Michigan deer hunting. You
Yeah.
pick a spot, you build a blind, and you bait the area and you wait because you've created the conditions to create the results that you're seeking.
Yeah.
So having these four objectives in mind suddenly give you control in what skills and what strategies you're going to use to create the outcome you want in a variety of environments.
Yeah.
So farming relationships is very repetitive. You see the same people and over again. It's
Yeah.
also the
Farming is
landscape
very
that
repetitive.
it is. It's also the
Hmm.
landscape that's very dominated by client care,
Hmm.
right? The people who love to be of service to their clients are very strong in this landscape. So this is
Yeah.
a landscape where you're going to find those resources. This is
Hmm.
a landscape where you're going to have the skill set to, take care of your clients. So activities like referral teams
Hmm.
or maybe community organizations like a Rotary, um,
Hmm.
very common. And then
Hmm.
you have like the foraging. Well, foraging is random. You're wandering around looking for opportunities, and they could come in a variety of forms. So there's your chambers,
Hmm.
there's your mixers, there's your meetup. How do you navigate these environments so you didn't just have a really nice time, but you actually knew how to create the results that you wanted to fulfill after the event?
Hmm.
Most people stop at my goal is to go.
Yeah.
Not my clients. Our goal is what do you want to have to do after going? How many
Hmm.
conversations? How many follow ups? How many emails? How many coffees? So you go in and you navigate the rooms with purpose.
Hmm.
You have these six people in mind. So every single person you talk to now becomes somebody worth your time
Yeah.
because maybe they're not your client, but they're going to be a referral partner and they're going to send you 10 clients. I can see that now. Um,
Yeah.
I have people in my network right now who need to know this person. I'm going to be the rock star that introduces them.
Yeah.
So those skills, those strategies, that fishing landscape, that's that strategic growth. It is very dominated by C-suite thinkers. And
Hmm.
that means we're talking events like golf outings,
Hmm.
annual dinners, holiday gatherings.
Yeah.
These rooms that you want to be in with a cigar and a scotch.
Hmm.
So, and this is a different type of room because in this situation, you are not the fish, you are the bait.
Hmm.
How do you present yourself that it gets them to bite? This is not a situation of like an 80s movie where you're caddying for a CEO of $1 billion company and you're going to pitch your idea and he's going to go, kid, I love your moxie. We should do this. Not reality.
No.
It is a slower growth landscape,
Yes.
but it is a
Yes.
bigger payoff.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, anything when you're building relationships take time, and
relationships take time.
and a yeah, comfortability, all of that is time. Anything that's worth creating, nothing. People that claim you can get rich in 6 months or two, whatever anyone's pitching anything like that, run
Yeah.
the other direction because that's not true, and or it's very short-lived. Whatever it is, it's not. Nothing. It takes time to do anything that you're building.
Yep.
Anything. I don't care who the person is. And
Yep.
so, that's my advice I give to people. I love that you teach people that, Wendy. That's so valuable that you do that. Um, how often, by
And
the way, how long do you work with your clients typically? What are your packages? What do you?
well, it kind of depends. Sometimes people don't actually need a lot of work. They just need guidance. They need that
Sure.
outside eye to say that direction. Okay. So I have something as simple as I have a proprietary assessment that
Oh,
measures those four objectives. How do
uh-huh.
people like to connect? Where do they default? Where do they shy away from? Awareness gives control.
Yeah.
And that assessment turns into a 4 to 5 page report that is
Mm.
weirdly accurate. Like it's just like so it's really nice because it becomes an ongoing resource.
Yeah.
I've been known to do continuing education programs where you just need me to come in and talk about a skill to your crowd. So it's a one and done. But I like a minimum of 6 months
Hmm.
because I view it as this is not a speedboat, it's a barge. What,
Hmm.
there's a very strong personality driven element to it, which I love and a lot of people do too. It's not about this. It's about how are you going to get to your goal, and that may not be the same path as somebody else. So
Right.
traditionally it's about a 6 month. I like 6 months to start. I have a client I've been working together for 3 years.
Oh,
that
wow.
that strategic coaching. Who do you need to know? Who do you not know? Do you even know who your target client is? I think we talked about that at our last meeting. Is how many people, if you say what does your ideal client look like, their answer is that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean,
If you
that's
don't,
so many people.
yeah, if you don't have a target, how are you going to hit it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Or it's just, or the target's too big. Like
Yes.
it's very general, and
Yeah.
you need to, especially the people that are in the coaching world or in the because when I get to talk to so many consultants and coaches, you guys are all very different though. The approach is different. So when people give a negative stigma to, well, actually, the ones that were given the negative stigma were the people that are doing it. They're like, I'm like, I don't have a negative stigma to it. Why does everyone lead with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, Mark coaches Alex Hermosi. We pay a fortune for him, but I don't know if you even know who he is, but he's in the Vegas, a really big deal. But my point is, I did that to get in the room with the people that he knows, the private equity and investment banks, and that's why I did that.
Yes.
It's not by him telling me what to do in my business. I mean, I've grown it rapidly. Like, it's really not that. I'll listen to what he's saying, but I'm not going to automatically incorporate something because he's worth $250 million and because he started sooner than I did or has different goals. You know what I mean? So it's like, you take different tidbits for it, but you're buying into the room is what you're
Right.
doing, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, because I always have to start at 6 months
Yeah.
because people become impatient, right? We all know people want instantaneous results, but
Yep.
sometimes results are not instantaneous.
No.
But here's what I like to tell people. I want 1 year to train, strategize, create a tested, proven, and repeatable plan
Yeah.
that will take you 2 years to execute, but it will
Hmm.
create 10 years of results
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
they start feeding on itself, because it
Yeah.
becomes second nature and habit. And then all of a sudden, one day, you're going to go, oh my God, look at who I knew. Look how far I've come. Look at the people
Yeah.
who come back. Um,
Yeah.
I actually have now, this has obviously been my job experience and life like that. But the reality is I come by some of this genetically because
Hmm.
my father is 79 years old and still works full time.
Wow.
My father, I can remember as a child, dad coming home, well, John Smith died. I'm like, I don't know who that is. Because
Hmm.
my father is very much like me in the fact that we know a lot of people and a lot of people know us.
Yeah.
And I had this perfect example through my father just 2 weeks ago on
Hmm.
the difference between networking and network and the difference between network and connection.
Hmm.
After 50 years in an industry, my father got fired. He
Oh,
is
wow.
he was a regional vice president for a national company,
Yeah.
and he got fired.
Hmm.
Within 12 hours of that news getting out, he had 3 people in his network say, I want to talk to you. I have an opportunity for you,
Hmm.
including somebody who flew him to South Carolina the next week and hired
Hmm.
him.
Oh, wow.
That is connection. That is the goal. He lost his job unexpectedly because
Hmm.
he wasn't the only one. The company is downsizing, so they're getting rid of a lot of their high paid executives.
Yeah.
And just putting the word out, 3 people's like, I hear you lost your job. I'd like to talk to you about a new opportunity.
Hmm.
He had a job within a week, and he didn't have to do anything but let his network know.
Wow.
That is what I want. That's why I call it the currency of connection. It's the kind of
Yes.
success only being connected can buy. Could you imagine building a network of people that know you so well, value you so much that just hearing that you are available made them jump on you?
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly right.
so
So what are
that
the
was
cost?
huge.
Do you have a website that tells the cost of your packages, or you do the assessment first and make it different depending on the
No,
person?
my website is www.wendycaverly.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that shows the packages on it,
Yeah,
or
that show it doesn't show cost.
okay.
Although you can order you can do the assessment through the website. That's the one thing
Oh, you
that
can do it through the website.
right. You can purchase it through the website and actually do it through the website, and then you get the
How much is the
results.
cost of the assessment?
$500.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and and that actually comes with 30 minutes of my time as well. Because hey, you
Mhm.
you got you got networking challenges, you got connection questions. Ask the expert.
Yeah. Actually, I want you to speak, Wendy, to the group if you don't mind. Not this week, but next week. I want
On
if you're available.
April 1st. Is that April 1st?
Well, see, that would be what, yeah, let me look actually. So
Yeah.
let me look
That
and
there's something that I do enjoy, the oddball holidays. So I would absolutely love to be the presenter on April Fool's Day.
oh, that's when that is.
Yeah, I'll even lean into it. I'll be like, don't we all feel foolish when we're trying to network and we think it's just got to gather all those business cards, but I got all these
Yeah.
business cards, but I'm not any more successful. Well, he who has the most cards doesn't win. It's he who makes the most connections that does. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I can make it
Oh,
fun.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love it if you would because of what you do. Everyone in this group is trying to network. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And if it's a half an hour of your time and the assessment itself, I think that's very reasonably priced. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I would want you to tell them that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want you to be like, look, this is what it is. If any of you are interested, and also tell people, Wendy,
Oh, I'll tell them
like,
my ideal client. I'll tell them everything.
yeah, your ideal client, not just your ideal client, but also, Wendy, this is what I've taken this person's network from this to this. Because how long have you had your company, by the way? How long? That's the other thing. How long have you had it? Mhm.
Only 4 years.
That's
Like
still not, that's not,
it
there's
was
not an only to
inspired.
that.
Yeah, it was inspired by 2020.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And when I first started it in 2021, it was just going to be workshops.
Yeah.
So I spent about 9, 10 months just doing random workshops until somebody said, can't you just coach me directly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, so you do workshops and all that for you
Oh
go
yeah,
in,
the
well,
workshop,
because of your
especially.
Chamber of Commerce and that type of thing. Is that what you do them through?
Actually, no, I usually do them directly through companies that are doing it as continuing education requirement.
Ah, yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah.
CPAs, financial advisors, insurance agents, people who want to build multi-year, multi-generational books of business.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
those are my target clients. And they have these continuing education credits and they don't want to take another sales course. They don't want to take
Hmm.
another post every day on Facebook course. They don't
Right,
they want something different. And
right.
viewing networking as a separate skill set and yet just as important to learn and focus on is new. That is my challenge. You asked at the
Hmm.
beginning, what are some of the challenges I face? The biggest challenge is getting people to recognize networking is a separate skill set from selling and from
Completely different.
completely different, but they don't see that at first. And then recognizing that as an activity, it also is different. So
Yes.
you can go to 3 chamber events, 2 referral groups, this and that, this lunch and that. You can network yourself out of work. You can busy yourself right out of business because it's not about the activity, it's about the intentionality. So
Yeah.
you don't have to go to 17 different events to get the results. Most of my clients, I don't encourage them to go to more than 2 events a month. Because if
Yeah.
you go to 2 events a month and you walk away with 5 conversations at each event, that's 10 conversations.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it right, those conversations turn into introductions, which are
Yeah.
new conversations without more activity,
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
connection.
That's what I want you to tell the group.
Yeah.
Also to tell them, I mean, obviously it's your thing. I'm just saying, I'm as a business person, I'm thinking of what will benefit the group the most.
Yeah.
And because what you're doing can help literally everyone in the room.
Oh, it's
That's there. And I want it to be another woman. Be,
I please finish your thought.
well,
I
just because
apologize.
we've had two men, there's a woman speaking today. I want there to be a woman next week. So
Gotcha.
I want it to be as
Um,
fair as possible to I think of the whole group. So.
yeah, yeah, no, that's absolutely and I love working with entrepreneurs more than anything because honest to God, at the end of the day, it's fun.
Yeah.
We are literally taking strategy. We are literally, I said to one person, here's what we're doing. You're trying to get into this circle, and we're going to test the walls until we find the weak point, and then we're going to push on that. That's
Yes.
strategy. That's the skill. That's the fun. How are we going to get you in the door? How are we going to get you the results? I actually, it's not unusual. And it's the entrepreneurs, it's the executives that they think like that.
Hmm.
They're not just looking for how do I send an email, how do I shake a hand, how do I get a business card. They want to know, how do I get to that result? And that
Yes.
is the strategy, and it is fun for me.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I'm having a good time. Let's do this,
Hmm.
and we're doing it on your behalf.
Hmm.
Again, back to, has to be of benefit to the person I'm helping.
Yes. By the way, it would be next week on 25th, not the first.
Oh, I thought you said in 2 weeks. You said not next week, but the week after.
Meaning this today's conversation.
Oh, okay. So, all right, hold on. Where on my calendar here?
Because the first is what I'm going to have. Yeah, it's the 25th. It's next week.
Yes, I should be. Yes, I should be able to. I don't. Yeah, because I do have a Wednesday. I'm traveling, but I don't think it's till the middle of April.
Yeah,
So,
I would love it if you would next. And are you going to be on today so you can introduce what you're doing
yes,
next week?
yes, I will be on today's call.
Yeah, at the end of the group, I always try to have the person that's speaking the next week, if they're there, do just a brief introduction on what they're doing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'll just be
Um,
like, I'm so hyper by all the possibilities. You're going to get dumped on, but it's going to be an exciting dumping.
no, it's
That's what
awesome. No, I love
that's what
that.
I
I love that's what you're doing.
say. Yeah.
But everyone can benefit from what you're doing. You know what I mean? And now, what does the assessment also cover briefly, if you don't mind?
Well, no, what the assessment does is it's a 10 sections, 4 words per section. So you're putting the words in order from least like you to most like you.
Okay.
And what it does is it measures a percentage of those 4 landscapes.
Hmm.
So you're 47% farming, 15% foraging, whatever the case would be. So it actually is a grid. And
Yeah.
and what it does is it measures how you like to connect. Like, are
Hmm.
you that social outgoing person that you're comfortable talking about yourself and asking people questions about them? Are you
Hmm.
more service oriented, where you want to be there to hold their hand and be of service to them? So that's really good for people like insurance agents or CPAs.
Yeah.
But if you're entrepreneurial minded, like I can always tell. I did the assessment on everybody in an insurance company one time.
Hmm.
I knew which one of those assessment results was the owner based on the results,
Got you.
because the owner will have that fishing, that forward agility, that I'm going to get bigger. How do I get bigger? But the
Yeah.
servicing agents like to just maintain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so another way of looking at hunting, the farming, foraging, fishing, and hunting is maintenance, creation, growth, plan.
Hmm.
Where do you default? And sometimes that default will also show frustration points.
Hmm.
But once again, awareness gives you control. So for me, my least, there's no good or bad. There's no good or bad. It is a snapshot
Hmm.
of you. My
Yeah.
least dominant landscape is the hunting landscape. I
Hmm.
don't like details.
Hmm.
I want someone else to do the paperwork, someone else
Yeah.
to do the spreadsheet. So if
Yeah.
I find myself frustrated, actually, this is my assessment result. I have it hanging on the wall.
Ah.
Yeah. So I am all creation.
Hmm.
And then this is maintenance. There's a lot of ways to look at
Hmm.
this chart. So I don't like detail work.
Hmm.
So if I find myself frustrated, oftentimes it's because I'm supposed to be doing the spreadsheet, or I have to do the email blast or whatever, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's very telling. It gives you control. It also helps gives you balance.
Hmm.
And yeah, there's a lot of, maybe I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll just do that little introduction to what does this simple assessment reveal, because there's a lot of ways. Like there's just a lot of ways. Like this is art, this is science, this is the feelings and going with it, but this is the measurables.
Hmm.
This is the growth, but this is the maintenance. Where you overlap also informs. If you
Hmm.
are somebody who has employees, it could show you a point where you have to get more comfortable handing off responsibilities and continuing to do it yourself.
Hmm.
Um, it is the most beautiful snapshot. And I actually had somebody take it 3 times because apparently they didn't like their results and they changed by less percentage. Like, so it is an ongoing resource, not
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, so
Yeah.
they find you on what? Because I have to wrap up the podcast part.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. No, this is what I want it to be because everyone's going to be able to. This affects everybody that's involved.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they find you. Please, your website again, wendycaverly.com.
WendyCaverly.com.
And then
Yeah.
what? So you're just going to have it just be Crusaders LLC, your company. When is that
Yep.
change happening?
Well, we've been making that change slowly. So, like, if you looked at my LinkedIn, it says Crusaders LLC.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And it's, I mean, I've had people recommend that I keep the networking because it shows the skill set, but networking is an activity. Crusaders is about the result of connection.
Yeah.
So, and a Crusader is somebody who has faith that if they commit to the journey, they will accomplish their goal regardless of the obstacles in their way.
Yeah. That's so true.
And any true Crusader always find someone that will share their journey, even if they have different destinations.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And by the way, everyone that speaks, what I do is I send them, it's not on my website yet. I just figured since I'm doing the Build group free and I'll do it a 10% affiliate agreement for everyone that speaks that the clients come through, and I'm going to have you speak more than once later too, because more people come in, they're going to need networking help. You know what I mean? So, because when there's so many coaches, I'm trying to find ways to bring value to them that isn't someone talking about what their coaching philosophy is or whatever. Because I mean, what is that really doing to another coach? You know what I mean? It's not how much value are they getting from it? You know what I mean?
There's also an abundance mindset where and steel sharpens steel. So
that's true. So they can just talk about. I get it. So there still is value hearing it, is what you're saying.
There's value hearing it. That if they're open to a collaboration, part of that is recognizing when a client is not ideal.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to make sure the client has what they need versus getting that dollar.
Yeah.
If I am listening to someone and like, because I will never claim to be a sales coach, I will never claim to be a marketing coach. I am that secret ingredient that makes both of those more effective.
Yeah.
So if somebody does need sales training, I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to refer.
Exactly.
And
then say that too. Say if they need these things, I'm going to refer you people that are in this network. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Explain the value of the group too. They need to know how important that is. I mean, and people are showing up, but my point is I want them to know what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? And
I have my target demographic. It is people who want to build multi-year books of business in insurance, CPA, financial advising, B2B service providers.
So smart.
So if I have that much of a niche, but I have somebody that wants to have better networking skills for a chamber or for credit card processing or whatever, I could very easily refer them to another person that coaches some form of networking. Because we've all done that. We say yes to the client because somebody wants us. And then by the time we're done, we're like, this is why I don't work with those people.
Yeah.
This is not my ideal client. This is somebody looking for, I often joke that if your idea of customer service is an 800 number, I'm not the coach for you. I'm not the person for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve somebody.
Right. This is not yours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for your time, hon. We've been talking for an hour. It just flies by.
I know.
No, that's what I want. But I have another one at 12.
Then get off the call, Kevin. What are we doing?
So, I'll see you at 2, and then I'll introduce you at the end just to give a brief description of what you're talking about the following week, like I did last week. Okay.
Perfect. Yep. And I'll keep it small. I'll keep it to the assessment because that also is the 4 objectives, the 6 people, the skills. And that's a really great entry point. That's not overwhelming. Like you want me to work.
But also just tell them the value of, also just the value of not just the assessment, but it brings you half an hour of your time. And what you should do, by the way, if they do the assessment and they end up hiring you, that money should go towards their consulting fee or whatever. Like tell them that or something. Give them a bonus. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you hire me more, this goes towards it. So then it looks like you're not just fishing for an assessment. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
That's my advice to you, by the way. So it's just.
Yeah. I mean, I started charging because so many people did it for free and never talked to me.
No, you should charge, but
And
say,
I'm
but that
like,
goes towards your consulting.
it goes towards a program. Yep.
Yeah, just say
Yep.
that, hon. Okay.
I like it. Good
All
call.
right.
All right.
Then, all right. It's great talking with you, Wendy, and I'll see you in a bit.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kevin. All
Yep.
right.
Bye.
Bye.